Marcin, and hello, Callum.
Hello.
umbraCoffee, end of another month. And we're in the middle of the summer time break, whoever you will
Oh,
name
for
it.
you, it's winter here. I mean, it's winter. Australian winter is like 20 degrees in the day, but still, it's cold. It's cold.
Are you okay? Are you surviving that? Is it
Just
kind of
about surviving. Thanks. Yeah,
uh,
just about.
36.8 temperature or something like that?
Yeah, yeah.
No, we have 30 plus degrees right now finally, but the first
Nice.
month was crazy. It was like, I haven't seen that much rain ever. But yeah, right now I'm slowly also floating
Whilst the
towards
rest of Europe was having at least Western Europe
heat
was having a
wave.
nice heat
Yeah.
wave. Yeah, because I hung around in Europe for a bit after Code Garden. We had my company's 10th birthday, so we did some fun stuff, and then we also went on holiday to Spain like during one of the heat waves, and that was nice. So yeah, I've had my little
Yeah.
dose of summer and then come back to the cold here.
Yeah, my holiday is still ahead of me. So I'm going to Italy next week.
Oh,
So
sweet.
I'll probably explore some of those heat waves from there. And yeah, I was just, as I mentioned to you before the episode, I feel like this last month was uh, 10 months or 12 months packed into a 1 month because
I
I
was gonna ask.
transitioned into
I was
so
going to
many
ask you
roles
about
now.
that, Marcin, because you say you're going on holiday next week, but answer me truthfully. Are you going on
Yeah.
holiday, or is Claude coming with you?
No, we can talk about it briefly because I've built a company. I have too much free time right now. That's what I
Hmm.
can say for sure. But I've built a full agentic driven company right now, which is working for me. So I'm going for a holiday, but I will have my mobile with me. I'm not taking my laptop with me just to be fair. And my team members are probably going to do some work for me. So let's see how it will
Nice.
work. But yeah, I was exploring a lot of first of all this agentic driven approach to doing things, all the models, AI agents, and stuff that I haven't had too much time to when I was occupied with daily work full time. And yeah, it seems to be something what excites me again. So
Nice.
it's really cool. It's really good to have it. But the danger is, even though I recorded one episode right now for the other channel, that the danger is that if you are starting or touching or trying to explore too many angles and routes, the risk is that you might not finish any of them, right? And I do remember our good friend Anthony Deng. He was the master of this
Yeah.
workshop exercise. He was drawing bridges. I don't know if you
Yeah.
remember that,
Yeah.
but he was drawing bridges, and none of them were finished, and we cannot cross the river, right?
Yeah.
So I'm in this position at the moment, right? So I'm building bridges. I'm talking with a lot of people, but yeah, I'm do planning. I'm planning to really have a proper time off because I'm
Nice.
having too many ideas and too many exciting things on my table that I cannot stop doing
That's a good.
things, which
That's
is
a good thing. That's a good thing. I think. I saw a post on socials this past week. I think from our old-time friend Pete Duncanson saying
hmm
he's sort of been grinding away on this AI thing for a couple of years, and only recently has it really started to click, and he's got into a flow state where he does genuinely feel more productive, and that's obviously going to be
hmm
somewhat down to the improvement of models, but people also refining their tooling and their ways of working, and find your groove, find something that makes you enjoy what you do again, or gives you a reignited passion for it,
yeah.
and explore. Why not?
I think it's like I observed so many people, joining early to this train, and there's this peak of adoption, and I agreed to myself that as soon as I will go over this peak, I will be probably then at the same position as Peter. Pete mentioned that you will get the most powers out of it, and you will be utilizing it rather than just being excited about something. But now I truly have couple of cases where it literally did an amazing job, and hopefully I will talk about one even during this episode because that was also mind blowing for me. Yesterday it was, yeah. Shall we
Nice.
start then? Because
Let's
Umbraco was
go.
also probably again. It wasn't a packed month for Umbraco because it was July, Denmark,
I've
and
had many calls with people from Umbraco in the
okay,
past month, but none of them Danish. They've all been on holiday.
okay, yeah. That's also the way to go. So let me share my screen because one of the topics that we can talk about is Umbraco Automate.
Yes.
We mentioned that after Code Garden that it's going to be released, but it wasn't yet, and now it's there, and we can play around with it. This is one of the areas in which I promised myself to check it out, but I didn't yet. And I have a theory here, which I don't know if you will be able to confront with me. But generally, those automations are at heavy risks at the moment because, Claude tools like this, they all
Yeah.
are bundling schedulers. And I had a lot of N8N automations myself for daily research of articles and stuff like that, and I'm not using them anymore.
Yeah,
So,
that's very true. I think someone actually I spoke to recently compared Umbraco Automate to N8N, just living
mhm,
natively inside the
in the
CMS.
CMS, yeah.
I think there is absolute value in that tight integration. It's where your content lives, and it's where you are probably best placed to perform actions on stuff that lives in the CMS. So that's all well and good. But I agree with you that actually a lot of the AI tooling sort of starts to negate the need for a lot of this stuff. You can have a bunch of things that's like, oh, get Claude to give you your daily summary and pull data from all these feeds and tell you what's been going on. Maybe you don't need an automation for that. I'm seeing Umbraco Automate as more doing no code, low code uh, grunt work that previously would have required a developer. So
Yeah.
less about individual users perhaps automating workflows. There's still that, but more about like these complex flows we were building previously in code no longer
Mhm.
needing to be a thing at all. I've been exploring Automate as part of publishing of headless sites, so a way of us pushing content out to other sources, and I think that's quite interesting too. So
Okay.
it's maybe I see it more as a kind of an outbound pipeline from Umbraco to feed data elsewhere than necessarily doing stuff within the CMS, because
Yeah.
the MCP server can do a lot of it. A lot of people are using that now.
Yeah, I think we even talked about it last time that this layer of isolation is probably something what we can appreciate because some of the content might be protected, might be not wanted to be shared, might not be wanted to be indexed or even feeded to any of the models or any of the external servers. And that's where I see a huge superpower of automations around the processes for the content and CMS related things. But yeah, I haven't had my use case yet, but I'm happy to hear and observe because yeah,
Yeah.
I see a movement from automation tools towards models and agentic tools, but we'll see because in CMS in Umbraco we have both. So yeah, we'll see.
It's an interesting question as well, because we've been speaking about this concept for a while of like, who are we building software for now? Is it for an end user or is it for a large language model? Is an AI interface the way that people are going to interact with these products going forward, whether they are applications on a phone or they are a CMS, and or even code. Like I had this discussion internally this week. Who are we writing code for nowadays? Is it to be understood by a large language model? Is it to be understood by a human? And it's an interesting thing. I think probably everyone acknowledges it's going to go in some cycles where people feel more comfortable and less comfortable. And we're seeing it now with organizations that don't want to, they say they want to adopt AI, but for regulatory reasons or whatever, they're a bit nervous about it getting too close to production or real data. And so Umbraco Automate does fill that gap as well quite nicely, where you don't have to use an AI tool if you don't want to. It gives you a bit of power, makes it feel like there's some intelligence in the CMS doing just things that someone would have been able to build previously, but in way less time.
Even Uncle Bob is not reading code anymore, right? So that's that's
See,
the
okay,
craziness. Yeah,
I saw that. I saw that as a trending topic on Twitter, and it was
yeah, it
Uncle
was. It
Bob
was.
doesn't read code. He just
Yeah,
reads the tests, and I'm like,
yeah,
wow. And the sky is blue. Like Uncle Bob's always been about the tests, right? It's
yeah.
all he's fixated on for a very long time. So yeah, but it's definitely a shift. It's definitely a shift happening.
Definitely, yeah, and it's also just to wrap this topic. It's also mentioned in the comparison with speed. So it wasn't about I'm not reading code because I don't like it or I'm not understanding it, but it was about speed of shipping stuff
Yeah,
because you can't ship efficiently enough, as same as the others if you are if you are your own bottleneck right now. So
Yeah,
that's
very
the
true.
case.
Very
But yeah,
true.
one thing about writing code here was also to mention extensions for Umbraco Automate. And Owen already released an extension and a blog post about extending Automate. And I haven't checked it yet, but it seems like it's quite flexible. So it
Hmm.
follows the mission of Umbraco ecosystem in general. So everything is kind of extendable, and we can literally do more with those automations and tailor them towards more sophisticated needs. I don't know if that's something which you've explored, Callum, or
Yeah,
is that
indeed it
something
is.
which you need?
I will share what I've been working on maybe in a couple of weeks. I'm going to try and open source some stuff. We'd been building a headless publishing framework
Oh yeah.
essentially for a while before this came out, and I spoke to Matt Brailsford at Code Garden, and we were kind of talking about how those maybe could live inside Automate instead, and I've been working on that. So yeah, I've been building a few of these Automate actions too. Owen's stuff's cool. If you've gone on any of his social platforms, basically every post he does, which he's been doing quite a few of recently, now has like an automated post that goes out with Umbraco Automate, and I think that's
Yeah.
pretty sweet. Something that just takes the edge off needing like one less thing you have to do to do a proper job, I guess.
Yeah.
So that's quite cool.
And I love design of this block, to be honest. I don't know why and how, but I love the design
Yeah,
here, and I was looking at it so often
I
recently.
saw
So yeah.
I saw a few other people. Someone has made a push notification thing that you can use Umbraco Automate to send push notifications to your mobile devices. That's
Hmm.
pretty cool. So,
Yeah.
like, hey, this thing has happened in the CMS previously, would have relied on you spinning up, I don't know,
Event
something
hook.
like
Yeah. Handler.
Firebase or some kind of push notification service and hooking into events and sending that. And now it's a package you install and it all happens natively hosted on your web application, which is, again, pretty sweet. So I feel like this is just another, a bit like the AI extensions, it's another paradigm to the CMS, another extension point where people can explore their creativity and do some more exciting things. Yeah. And I saw Liam in the chat asking about, why is it a different product? It's a fair question. The thing I'm struggling more with as an identity crisis right now is workflow versus automate.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Hmm.
workflow is a paid product, but it's also got a free tier, and the free tier lets you do like one workflow. And admittedly, they are slightly more advanced workflows, multi-step with approval gates and like rules about who. But you could build it now
Yeah.
in Automate, and it's free and it's there out of the box. I think it probably just adds a bit too much bloat to be there out of the
Yeah.
box. And I'm personally a big fan of the like split stuff out into separate
Yeah.
packages. Like members maybe should be a separate extension, but yeah.
It's like a I don't like this word, but it's like composing things out of available tools rather than having one big tool to rule them all, right? But I don't know if you have seen the Levelsio's posts recently. He was quite known SaaS producer and creator, and he recently mentioned that most, if not all, of the SaaS platforms that he was using, which was not the big tech or big platforms that he cannot dump, he replaced with the vibe coded stuff. So right now
Yeah.
we can do literally everything. So the questions that you and Liam you are raising is quite fair, because why we should think about upsold products if something can be built by someone such easily.
It's fascinating. The SaaS argument's really fascinating because we've seen companies flip flop over this for the past couple
Yeah.
of years as well, haven't we? I think was it Spotify famously rebuilt a CRM that was costing them $1 million a month or something.
HubSpot was also a kind of
Yeah. So like people building their own tools, and for some things, I get it. It makes sense. Like if you've got, I don't know, some kind of uptime monitoring tool or an internal facing ticketing system, like yeah, sure, why not?
yeah.
But then another company recently rebuilt Jira, and within a few months moved back.
Maybe better
Yeah, like
in Rust.
some of these products exist for a reason and have lasted for 15, 20 years for a reason. They have a place in the
Yeah.
market. And whether AI is actually building something better.
But one argument here, which is probably the only one which is still winning, is like who will maintain it? Also, if you're working with the big companies, and you've probably did some work with the big ones, they are not, early adopters of things. They're not following tweets of Levelsia and joining the cloud and rebuilding everything for them on Friday evening, right? It's like sometimes you wait 2 years to sign a signature on the contract for something which already is legacy before it was built. So I think this will be still like a danger because someone needs to maintain it. Someone needs to understand what is happening there. Someone needs to translate what people want into something what has been built by some agent. Agents
Yeah.
cannot speak with each other yet that efficiently. So and this is still a battle of big AI companies who are battling.
Security concerns.
Oh yeah,
There's
yeah.
the scaling concerns, and then there's the
Costs.
someone comes along and prompts cost. Someone comes along, prompts a feature, and it decides to rebuild or loses requirements. Like you need. There's some regiment you need around building with
Yeah.
AI.
Go beyond sandbox, right? Stuff like that.
Did you see?
Uh,
Was it this month that OpenAI brought out pages, so you can speak with
no,
ChatGPT and
I
you can
haven't
say,
seen.
"Hey, I want a landing page. It looks like this. It needs to have a contact form," and it will go,
No,
"Yep, spun that up for you, and it's live here
no.
on the internet. And would you like me to publish it to the public
Yeah,
internet for you?" You can say, "Yep,"
yeah,
and it just does it in a couple of
yeah.
minutes. Some pretty
Again,
impressive stuff.
Cloudflare has this drag and drop feature when you can drag and drop the HTML and it's a website already, right? So,
Yeah,
and funnily enough, today when I was generating thumbnails for my the Busy Programmer channel, I haven't asked for a tool, but Claude built me a generator as a page. So I can right now, specify the text, select an image, rotate it, zoom it out, zoom it in, and generate the thumbnail. I haven't asked Cloud for it. Cloud knew me that I will be too lazy to do it for the second time, so build me a tool for it. So yeah,
interesting.
but security, you've mentioned security, and this is a huge thing, and I think this is where the risk is leaning to, and talking about this topic, we also mentioned Umbraco security advisory or
Yeah,
advisories. I can't even count right now how many, and if that was one or many of them. But we had some patches this
yeah.
month, right?
CMS patch.
So
This one affects protected content in the delivery API. So whilst it's, I think, medium severity or maybe high severity, I think it was medium. Uh, so it affects a fairly narrow group of users. You have to be doing quite a specific set of things in the delivery API to be doing it. But anyway, there is also high severity. Okay, but yeah, if you've got the delivery API turned off, you're not affected. If you're not using protected content, you're not affected. I think is the
yeah,
gist. But
and second was
always
about the
good to patch.
forms, right? If I do remember
Yeah,
correctly,
so the
right?
Umbraco
So,
Forms vulnerability was announced last week and came out on Tuesday this week. I'm sure many people like us had a big patching day of going through sites and updating forms. That one was again a high severity one that would allow someone to bypass if you had a multi-step Umbraco form, allow you to bypass steps that would then mean that the workflows at the end of your form trigger. And depending on what you're doing with those workflows, that could have a high impact because let's say, for example, you're doing some kind of e-commerce thing or, giving someone access to a product or creating nodes in your CMS, which are, pretty common flows in Umbraco forms that, yeah, people could bypass those steps and just go ahead and get access to a thing or to do what they need to do. So,
and do you know if it was for Razor only or generally the step switch logic?
just the steps
Just the
itself.
steps.
So,
Okay.
I believe. Are you
Everyone is
asking if it
affected.
affects the headless API?
No, no, okay. Yeah,
I
definitely
don't
worth
know.
patching.
I don't know. But yeah, worth patching. That came out on Tuesday. So we've got a few patches for Umbraco CMS between 13 and 18, and also forms between 13 and 18. And I was surprised actually when we went to do some patching earlier this week. There's just been a lot of general bug fixes, little improvements to most of the commercial products as well. So I patched up commerce at the same time, workflow at the same time on a couple sites too. So yeah, no harm in going and doing it, even if you're not affected by those very specific scenarios. Oh, and some dependencies updated too. I think it was highlighted in this post.
Yeah.
Message pack got a bump as well.
Are you using anything like Dependable or some automated bumps for packages like this? Because I was, again, haven't had time yet in my packed schedule already, but it was always tempted for me to build a dashboard of all the Umbraco projects in our portfolio with all the
It's
major dependencies to just bring them
it's
up.
really it's funny you say that because we've built that.
Okay.
um,
Are you
and
ready to share? Or you don't want to share
our
probably?
landing page is offline. But yeah, we built a product that we've I don't know if we ended up open sourcing it or not, but called Call Home, and it just
Okay.
pings back and it pings your full set of dependencies. It hooks onto
That's it.
the Umbraco telemetry, but actually we built it platform agnostic, so it would
Okay.
do WordPress if we wanted it to. Like someone could
Yeah,
build a WordPress
but my case was especially around the Umbraco because I wanted to put project managers, for example, onto this
yeah.
dashboard to see, okay, forms, this package is used, just maybe expose specific packages by the names or something like that in the main dashboard. That would be awesome. But yeah, I will
You,
check it out, and
you've
if you
read
will
my
find
mind.
it,
I will. Hang on.
if you will find it, if you'll
You've
find
got
it,
me excited now. Yeah, it's definitely doable. Because we've built it.
I might have a customer for it then.
I showed it off I think I showed it off at a Melbourne meetup maybe 12 months ago, and there was a few people that said the same thing. Like ultimately, even the Umbraco Cloud main dashboard is great, but it shows you forms, deploy CMS, and it's
Yeah.
quite technical. And so we wanted a nice, at a bird's eye look, every single project that you care about, what's in there, and an easy way to click go. We
Yeah,
also baked
exactly.
in some extra intelligence because for things like Umbraco, again, we were building this in a way um, that's generic,
Hmm?
not Umbraco specific. So we decided that we would sprinkle a little bit of intelligence on there for the times where, like Umbraco's end of life is a bit of a weird one, where you don't necessarily know via NuGet or Dependabot or whatever these that this platform is becoming end of
Yeah.
life in this time frame. And so
Or
we
you want to be notified half year earlier, not
right,
when it's happening,
exactly,
right? So
exactly.
yeah,
Um,
but that's it just proves that a lot of people are thinking the same and have the same needs, but it was literally something what I think will be beneficial for a lot of teams, especially
yeah.
the ones who are maintaining a lot of similar projects and having those patch days, like you've mentioned, right? So that's really cool. Did you find it? Do you want
Uh,
to
yeah, but
plug it in? Not
another
ready.
time.
Not ready. Yeah,
Another
next
time.
time.
The
That's fine.
screenshot we've got for the site is not easy to show. So yeah, we
Ask
need
some
to
agents to fix
we
it.
need to reboot this. This was also done kind of pre AI as
Before.
well.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I think again we will have a lot of. I'm worried that we'll have a lot of slop for sure, but we'll have a lot of great products as well, which will
Yeah.
be again done better than it could have ever been done. But yeah, we'll see. But that transitions us to the next topic, and Umbraco being kind of agent ready CMS. And I
Mm.
like this title. I like it really because we always talked about Umbraco, core Umbraco, not going beyond what is core feature and stuff like that. But we also noticed quite early, I believe, in the whole AI era that Umbraco started to become open for not bundling models or agents or particular use cases inside, but being extension friendly for this type of activities. And again, MCP step was quite early in the general software land, I would say, because now everything has MCPs, everything has
Yeah.
CLIs, everything has um, uh, readiness. But being ready early and also right now, uh, Umbraco AI, amazing extension, amazing package, amazing dashboard to configure and play around. We saw it. And Adam also showed an amazing use case how he utilized it to build something. And yeah, right now it's all about really doing something valuable with it because
Yeah.
yeah, plenty of it might be everything can be done, but we don't need everything.
Yeah.
And clients definitely don't want to have everything because we might end up as a WordPress marketplace where you have million packages for SEO
Yeah.
properties or
Yeah.
things like that, right?
This is something we've been talking about a lot in the Umbraco AI team as well. Like how do we guide people to the best solutions, not necessarily encouraging them to make their own, because I feel like AI is quite individualistic as well. It's less likely to recommend an existing package plugin, and it will go and suggest a solution that it thinks it can generate instead for you. So yeah, having awareness of what the capabilities in Umbraco are, what those extension points are, and what already exists out there for you to use or adapt or modify is definitely a key focus of ours. But I liked how Phil framed that piece. Like, yeah, Umbraco is Umbraco's AI is platform agnostic. It's sort of very Umbraco, as I've said many times. It doesn't get in your way, fully flexible, fully extensible. Yeah.
And to be fair, that's probably, and again, we'll see in maybe a year, 2 or 3 years from now if it was the right shift. But some of the CMSs out there are switching towards being, AI first, AI native, whatever. And again, right now everything is AI something. But I do believe that in all of those AI centric movements, Umbraco's way, maybe we are biased, I don't know, but Umbraco way is in my opinion, quite long-term thinking instead of just joining the vibe because we can, right?
I agree.
Yeah, we'll see.
You look at people like the Episerver, Sitecores of the world, and they are selling AI as a productized, paid-for add-on to their platforms, and this is not the case.
So yeah, let's see. And again, people who are watching us, let us know how you utilized some of those AI capabilities already, because again, right now, probably seeing some real use cases, client-driven adoptions is the best inspiration for us all to help the other clients, because I don't know, Callum, you probably can confirm that, but many clients comes and says, yeah, we want something AI.
Yeah, they don't know what they want.
Yeah, something AI, you can do something AI for us, and whatever it is, we are happy with. And then you are ideating with AI about AI potential, and then of course models can do everything for you, even the most stupid things they will do without blinking an eye. And that's danger. That's danger in my opinion.
Yeah, because clients have got budget to spend on AI. That's the thing now. Companies are setting money aside. They've got AI strategies, and if you can present something compelling, they will absolutely use that money to do something. But that presents both an opportunity and a dilemma for agencies. Like, do we just sell AI integrations for the sake of AI integrations, or is this actually about I feel like with GDPR, when GDPR became a thing, a lot of agencies went out selling GDPR proofing of solutions. Customers wanted it too, and they all set budget aside for it. And in the end, a lot of it ended up being a load of crap. Like a lot of it, they could have got away with doing much less, or actually they didn't need to do anything at all. And people probably got a bit burned by that. And we don't want this AI revolution to be the same thing. I think we kind of want, to deliver proper value, and we have the ability to do that now with
I think something which does not exist, but something what I would buy for everyone around me is like a bullshit detector, bullshit filter. This AI slop. I don't know if you've seen on LinkedIn, there is a button right now that you can report potential AI slop on the post.
No, I haven't.
Yeah. We'll be on LinkedIn soon, so I can show you. But yeah, something like this. Something like if you glasses or something that you wear and you see AI slop and bullshit. So that would save the world right now. That's my take.
Probably right.
But talking about packages, I did spend some time as well recently gathering my top packages. It was from one of the talks evolutionized after a couple of years. It is on my LinkedIn somewhere. I have it. But I was surprised that there are, even though there is a lot of packages, and of course many new packages are published even daily now, there wasn't a really nice and simple analytics package existing there, which truly surprised me. And again, I wasn't probably my eyes were too close to search for it in the past. But there is a package now. It was released quite recently from Flow Courier. That's the company. I don't know if you know them or anyone is aware or used it, but I wasn't sure. I wasn't aware that this is existing. And they also wrote a nice blog post about the general analytics, traffic, also talking about the geo stuff, which was something what I explored a lot recently
Yeah.
too. So I don't know. Maybe I missed it because I saw that Engage had an analytics dashboard, but
Yeah,
it
you
wasn't
can
purely.
do a lot of this in Engage, to be fair, and Engage itself for analytics is free. Bear that in
Yeah.
mind.
Okay.
But the caveat I would add to Engage is it's really heavy. It's
Yeah.
really weighty. So if you're going to chuck it onto your site, it comes with a lot of bulk. So having a lightweight option is quite nice.
Yeah. So I was surprised, and again, that's something what I miss, and yeah, the Flow Courier company released this Google Analytics dashboard, which I haven't tested yet, but it's quite looking like something what I might need. And I
Yeah.
explored that because I was exploring this geo stuff, and something what I used agents for. I built this package for
Mhm.
Umbraco, and I haven't been doing a lot of packages myself recently. So there's probably maybe one sentence which I wrote by hand inside of this
Nice.
package. The rest was generated by my friends from Claude, Codex, and a couple of other models there, and I was amazed. And one thing that amazed me the most, and again through the package, through the stuff, but yesterday someone said to me that because I released it for Umbraco 17 and 18 first, because it was like a new UI, new
Yeah.
components, and so on. I was really curious how it will be. Someone asked me about Umbraco 13 yesterday, and literally it took me 15 minutes from writing a prompt, generating new NuGet package, having a conditional release for both 13 to 16, 17, and 18 from the same sources with the fallback to AngularJS, controllers that are supported in the previous versions, and everything tested and ready. I was amazed. And
So,
literally,
so it was able
uh,
to backport a package because people are often thinking about
yes,
going the other way, right?
yes, yes. I released the version 1.1, 1.00 for Umbraco 17 and 18. And then I said, okay, I need a version for 13. This is Angular-based version, so please utilize all the code that is already written, controllers, logic, and stuff like that. But build me a conditional dashboard version for the previous versions of Umbraco, and it built it. 15
Okay.
minutes because I put the timer on. So
Yeah. Wow. Okay. I've got questions now
yeah,
because this opens up a world of possibilities potentially. Did
yeah.
the AI rewrite it all from scratch with the same requirements, or did it take the existing code, abstract bits out, reuse things, and create like a core?
The second one, the whole controller
Interesting.
service logic was maintained. Also, the attributes from controllers, which were only supported in Umbraco 17, got replaced with the native .NET attributes because they were backported. It was downgraded to .NET 8 because .NET 10 was not supported in the earlier versions. And there was a conditional logic applied to serve both dashboard HTML and the other one with
Yeah.
Angular for the two versions. I might open source it because this package does not have any sensitive logic
Yeah.
or information, but literally I was going for some ice cream with my daughter, so I had literally 15 minutes, and I said, okay, if we'll do it in 15 minutes, let's go. It bundled me the NuGet package, Umbraco Marketplace information. I didn't know that there's a validation page on Umbraco
Yeah.
Marketplace. I went there, validated my package, it updated, and my friend downloaded it for Umbraco 13. 15 minutes, and done.
That's
So
incredible.
and again, that was a real use case. I don't know, maybe no one needs it, but someone needed, and it worked. So we'll see more of it, and that's also why I'm excited about it. Uh, so yeah, that's that's my take on agentic
Wow.
development for Umbraco.
Oh wow.
So and the second thing is probably something what I will be mentioning more soon, but it's for upgrades of the Umbraco, which exactly what you've mentioned is like the other way, probably more common way to do stuff. And yeah, I was also surprised. I gathered it for the episode that people are still upgrading. I don't know, Callum, are you done with all the upgrades yourself?
No, we're not, and we've just sold like five more for the rest of the year. It's a bit sad,
Mm,
really. I don't know. I
yeah,
kind of want this whole repeatedly upgrading Umbraco era to be over, but
yeah,
It's nearly. Yeah, I saw this blog, this blog from Cornet. Amazing. And part of my thought when I read this was, cool. Anything we can do in the AI team to help with this. B, I reckon we could do it faster and quicker.
Yep.
And
Yep.
I kind of like the idea there's a bit of a race on here to upgrade. Of course, this was within cloud with deploy, and deploy has got like property conversion stuff, whereas like usync migrations, it's got an equivalent version. So
Yeah. But
yeah,
But this is the other thing. The using migration is probably the other way around. I also saw Stefan's blog about his approach to upgrade, and long time no see, Stefan.
Mr. Fan.
Yeah. So that was also cool to see. But yeah, it seems like Umbraco 13 is going end of life by the end of year, right?
Yeah,
of this,
December 14th,
December. Yeah.
end of life.
So plenty of time. And yeah, I think my recent teams and my old teams released yesterday probably the last upgrade of the solution that was running on Umbraco 13. So we are probably over it. But I've been exploring this area a lot, and you saw it. We talked about it as well outside, and I've released this sneak peeks of something what I've built as an MCP. So that's something what might help you as well, and everyone basically who are doing that. I asked here for any people who are going to upgrade, and funny enough, no one contacted me yet, so I still have plenty of slots to give away. But this tool is a combination of all the upgrades that I did and my teams did in the past 15 years probably, with all the manual checks, automated checks, database checks, internal knowledge, all the crazy stuff that we've been all going through to understand if Umbraco solution is good or bad, and if it will upgrade nicely or it will be a pain in the everything. So I have this MCP running locally. I'm happy to explore it on some existing solutions, and yeah, I was surprised because 3 out of 4 I scanned it after. Scanned it for the 3 solutions that got upgraded. One of them was painful, 2 of them were nice, and the scan already told me exactly the same after all that. Oh God, don't go this way, avoid it. So yeah, we'll see.
Yeah,
But
I've seen some really interesting talks doing similar things around .NET code bases, like how might someone upgrade one, and code archaeology. So trying to work out how stale is this code, and looking at building sort of a graph of the commit history and who has changed which files the most and how recently, to determine whether something is being actively maintained. And you can use those sorts of metrics against your own code, but also open source projects. So you can determine whether this is a project we actually want to add this is a dependency we want to take, for example.
I was thinking here for this particular one, because I haven't mentioned that, but most of the checks are not even involving LLMs or agents for that, because it's purely like a scan, find, match, and report. So it's a lot of that, and it's same like using migrations things, because a lot of community people wrote their own migrations, right? So I was thinking about maybe a set of our tests, our checks. So something like a shared database of checks for Umbraco good practices. Something what I have done in the past, but right now it will be interesting to combine it.
Steve Megson had a V8 to V9 health check, that like a pre or a V7 to V8 health check that you'd run, and it would tell you what's broken, if you've got any data that's corrupt, any property editors that are going to be migrating. So similar concept.
That was the inspiration. That was the inspiration, because first of all, I wanted to have it as a health check in CMS back office, right? Just to run it for the solution and report back. But then, what if I had only using exports from the website, or what if I only have database? So my MCP can run against different sources. So it's like crazy flexible, and yeah, I've been doing so many of those health checks by hand and by mind, spending dozens of hours, and now it's like possible to be done the other way. So yeah, we will see.
Cool.
But yeah, breaking changes are also something what I wanted to mention. You've probably seen this column as well. Where's my cursor here? Umbraco 19 will replace the search, and this type of checks, for example, might be an interesting findings and feedback for someone who will be doing some upgrades, right? So yeah, this will be quite
This is
exciting, quite big step, right?
yes and no. So actually, V17, sorry, Umbraco AI Search, Umbraco Search, I should say, still ships Examine. So actually, if you're injecting iExamine Manager anywhere currently, that code will still work, still compile. The dependency is going to still be there. There's a few changes to what the indexes will look like. So that's an important thing to note, that your search indexes, key properties change their names, key properties change their format, and any code that you may have had that was relying on Umbraco adding values in a certain structure to the index that you would then use the indexing events to transform will change. But if you really want to stick with using raw examine and have Umbraco as the mechanism that just indexes the data, you still can. It doesn't need to be a big rewrite. But there's other benefits of upgrading to that too. Of course, you can swap out for other search providers quite easily, and it's maintained a little bit more.
That's nice. Haven't played with it yet, and search was kind of an area which I was not doing a lot recently. But having and seeing the scans updates, it looks like a lot cleaner generally, and if it will be backported and maintained for the examine as a core feature, that would be also cool.
Yeah.
Cool. And events at the end of the chat. There's plenty of events happening now, soon, in the upcoming months. So maybe let's open the Umbraco events calendar. It got updated recently. A couple times in the past we were searching for events and they were not here. I have a feeling right now that more of them are here right now. Someone fixed it.
It pulls from the umbracalendar.com site, as well as some, I think, and the meetup feed, and some manually added ones as well. So it's a bit, don't know,
mixture of both. But even August alone, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, more than 10 events, with a big India festival at the end of the month.
They've announced their speaker lineup, I've seen, and that's looking pretty cool.
So that's really cool. And September we are starting kind of a festival season. What's your schedule, Callum, for the festival season this year?
I'm doing pretty minimal.
Frequent flyer?
Pretty minimal this year. So the Dutch event obviously is happening late September. Not doing that, sorry. But also it's a much smaller event. I think there's 5 or 6 speakers, and it's very much local, and it's looking good.
They got announced somewhere. I saw Richard Sutterman.
Richard.
It's probably on Instagram, right?
Dave's doing some talks. Yeah, LinkedIn, Instagram, all kinds of places.
Some socials.
So that's good to see the community stepping up and running an event there. There is
Swedish
the Partner Fest, the US Fest in Chicago, which I unfortunately won't be able to join, but again, looking good. And they've also announced their speaker lineup yesterday, I think, or the day before, for the US Fest.
US Fest. Yeah. That's true. And it looks like a nice set of speakers from
great collection of speakers there. So that's exciting. And then 2 weeks later, of course, there is the UK event, which we've published some new stuff today.
Ooh, that's a nice looking site. I haven't seen this animation yet.
It's a bit of fun, isn't it? You can play around with the glyphs. There's a few Easter eggs in there if you search around for a while. But we've got the first batch of speakers announced. We've got another batch coming next week. But an exciting list of talks. And we've also published the provisional schedule, so you can see kind of what's going to be up against what, see the balance, see the topics, all that jazz. Some FAQs in there, and we were a little late in putting all of this info out just because of a few things that have been going on. So we've extended the early bird ticket sales as well by a couple of weeks.
Okay,
that's people who want to get an early bird price still can before, I think, the 15th of August.
Yeah, that's really cool. That's obviously I saw myself on the agenda there, so I will be there. But I think that I was exploring a couple of the other festivals, and they're so packed that without being this frequent flyer and willing to just jump over from one continent to another, that's a tough to choose where to go. But there is plenty of opportunities.
there is still a call for speakers open for Sweden, I believe, for
Sweden.
a couple more days, or a couple, maybe
And
a week or
there's
two.
also Austria conference.
Yeah,
That was something
I
new that
think
I've
this
seen.
is more of like a Umbraco
Business.
HQ business focused thing, less of a community thing. But I
Yeah.
don't know too much about it.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
we'll
lots going
definitely
on.
talk more about various events closer to their dates. But now it seems like still even August, even that the August is a holiday month. There's
Yes.
plenty of things happening, and
Yeah.
then it's September, back to school, and
Oh
life
yeah.
goes on.
Yeah.
So plenty of things for a silent July, right?
For a
So.
quiet summer. Yeah.
Yeah, quiet month. So yeah, I think that's all. If you missed something, as usual, let us know. If you are building anything cool, interesting, hacky, dangerous for Umbraco, and not only, let us know, and we will probably be happy to share it on the next episode. And yeah, we'll probably catch up soon and then share what we have built with
Yeah.
the agents or alone.
Indeed. Yes. Yeah.
Well then, thanks Callum for today. Thanks everyone for watching and yeah, enjoy the second half of the summer and we'll catch up by the end of it.
Yeah. Catch you all next time. Have a
Yeah,
good weekend. See you all.
take care everyone.